You can call me anything but late for dinner.
Anyway, I am Ren Michaelis, and with me I have Patrick, and we are going to talk about the Trout Tears and Donga Lakes.
Oh, Donga leak. Donga needs super berries.
Donga needs lots of super berries from the magical fireplace.
Hello.
Oh,
Let me introduce myself. I am the conundrum. When I always say, when life gives you those conundrums, I'll give you those answers with a little side of delirium as well. And I'm glad to be a part of Rin's stream.
so what were you saying about my video earlier?
I liked it. I love the band Ghost. That was good. When I
Oh,
watched
you're
that, when I watched that, I just put on their soundtracks.
Oh, another Ghost fan. I didn't know because I don't know how many Ghost fans I have in the audience because I took a big risk with that video because I don't do comedy. I normally don't do comedy, and the one time I did do comedy, I got bombarded with downvotes. So I kind of like steered
Well,
clear.
I upvoted it because you had a living color in there. That was a show I used to watch in the '90s. The one with Jim Carrey as Dracula and Jamie Lee Foxx as Wanda.
Yeah, yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, Coleman, you need to stop." Yeah, I saw. Yeah, because it's kind of like people. I mean, they just tried this. I don't know, a type of character assassination, where it's kind of like your thoughts and ideas are irrelevant because you are entertained by Medicare. So it's kind of like yeah, and people wanted to go and called him a groomer, and he groups his audience. It's like, okay, okay. Here is like the grooming process, and then I took, video clips from the band Ghost because I like that band. I enjoy listening to them. I would listen to them at work, and
So you're a fellow Ghost Rider.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a lot like, I just played some of my favorite songs. I played Cerise, that's one of my all-time favorites. I also played He Is, another one of my favorites because they keep treating Medicare like Medicare is Satan. And then I realized that Ghost has a song called He Is. It's like, He is the disobedience that holds us together. So it's kind of like, yep, sure, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, Medicare reminds me a lot of the living comic book rendition of the Joker. He's in it to watch the world burn.
Yeah, what people don't get is that like some people come to be entertained. Like, what's it? I think it was Kira something. It's not Kira Wolf. It is not Kira Wolf. It's the one where they were on the kill stream, and there's this guy who called Mr. Medicare a pedophile, and Sargon favorited the comments, he's the one who told Medicare, don't, just don't, and he says to Medicare that his audience is a bully brigade, and it's kind of like that just wants to do nothing but laugh at people. And Mr. Medicare was like, how odd is that? People want to laugh at other people over the internet.
Yeah, because let me put it this way: people laugh at anybody. Like back then, I used to laugh at the antics of Chris Chan, and does that make me a bully? No, I just laugh at the stupid people when they do stupid things. And Chris Chan is the prime example. If everybody says that Medicare's a bully, we're picking on low hanging fruit, and then everybody should shut up because everybody picked on Chris Chan back in the day.
I with you that it's very hypocritical, especially since, I mean, have you seen the 2015 and 2016 anti-feminist comments? I mean, anti-feminist videos where all they would do is like look for the dumbest feminists that they could find and just, make fun of their appearance, like, oh, another blue-haired feminist and whatnot.
Oh,
I
if
mean,
if you watch The Atheist Gamer, for your bottom dollar, that's what he does all the time.
Hi guys, what I miss?
Nothing much. We're just beginning.
Okay. So I am confused about what the story here is about. Like, why again is it that send like a 38? What's it 38? 38 video downloads again, Ren? What was it that you wanted me to do with them?
Like I said, I can't do a video on it. It'll be too long. So I said that a few times that I give up on the idea of making a video on it because it's just way too much. It was a 6-hour live stream and the original audio was 2 hours and 16 minutes long. I'm not going to make a video on I'm not going to make a video on that, with all those clips because, I mean, even one of the clips I had was like 30 minutes long.
Yeah, of V talking.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying. Every time I hear his voice, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
I got a question. Like, how long is like the original stream that all these clips are from?
The original stream is 2 hours and 60 minutes, but I never seen it posted it raw. Like Andy Warski has it, but even though Andy Warski has it, I haven't seen the raw file posted.
Okay, so he like unlisted it or something. In other words,
he must have it unlisted somewhere. Or maybe set to privates, and he went over the whole entire 2 hours, response video style, which is why it ended up being a 6-hour long video. It was so fucking long. I mean, it took me like 2 days to watch it because it's like I don't have time to just sit through a 6-hour video.
That's why I listen to the live streams that I have queued up in my watch later list. Like, sorry, I mean dinner here at the same time. Where I watch them or listen to them more specifically during work.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, my work, I mean, it doesn't work all that well, but they have something that is supposed to knock out the internet access, but that thing only works half the time. So it's like half the time I could get on Twitter, but the other half the time their thing works and it does successfully knock out internet access.
Oh, so they don't want you to use the internet at all, even during breaks or something?
No, they don't want people to use the internet. However, it barely works though. It barely functions. I mean, you had to be really close to it. Like whichever is knocking out the system, you got to be close to it. But the further away you are, the more your internet is going to work.
Yeah.
It's why I don't really watch too many YouTube videos on at work because I know that my job is going to knock out the system. So I watch YouTube videos when I'm at home.
I also like listen to YouTube stuff while I'm like playing video games or computer games or other stuff like that. Like, then again, you're not that type of person, are you, Ren? To play video games or computer games?
I play Eternia, but that's much more like a mobile game. But it's really fun because it's still like a role-playing game.
I usually play Fallout 4, and I'm going to be going to the Creators Club because you can get bonus quests for that.
I wonder.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
So, what's the story here now? Doxing plots or something like that?
Yeah, there was. I mean, like, Trout says that it's not a doxing server, but if I recall correctly, it was two in the Andy Warski live stream, it would be 2 hours, 47 minutes into it. You would see that Tonka Saw sharing a folder that says like, doxes, flagging plus, and then it had the Metzger's name on it. So it's kind of a lot like, well, if it's not say doxing server, then why
And
are you have a folder that says doxes and flaggings and a folder with
and
Mr. Metacrist's name on it?
and they were conversing about this in like little 10-second to 2-minute interrupted segments. One of
Well,
them being 30 minutes or something.
well, Andy Warski interrupted a lot, if that's what you're asking. But other than that, Crouton T passively accepted without protest. He wasn't like, oh no, 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 we're not this type of group. Takasaw take these thoughts elsewhere. Instead, Takasaw's like, which interests you? And then Crouton T, he didn't say no, like I don't want this, take this away from me. We're not this type of group. So it kind of kills off the idea that it's not a doxing server if Takasaw is giving doxes from Thomas Ellington and Crouton T passively accepts it.
Yeah.
So it seems that ironically, Kraut is rather passive. Yeah, like you said, he's passive on this bit of doxing controversy, but then that kind of raises the question, why was he so outspoken against AIU and his doxing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit hypocritical, It's like, they're calling us dossers, they're calling us dossers. But in the audio, when Tucker saw it's like, hey, I have all this folder with dosses on it, and Crouton T, he didn't say, no, no, take that away from me, get this out of here, we're kicking you out of the group, I'm not taking this. He passively accepted it.
This is getting quite interesting.
Not only that, but hey, did you guys see the leak that Liz Reptile posted? Liz Reptile also posted
No.
a link where she and Crouton T were talking, and Crouton T was like, "Oh yeah, you and Zeph were innocent the whole entire time. You and Zeph did nothing wrong." But it's kind of like, if I recall correctly, wasn't Kraut the one who drew Liz and Zeph under the bus from the was it a few months ago?
I don't know hardly anything about Liz Reptile, honestly. I mean, I got a question. Like, the one segment of where Kraut is passively accepting or being passive with Tonka Saw on offering a bunch of doxing information. Couldn't we just like take that one segment and make it into a video or something?
That is an idea.
I mean,
I
I don't see the necessity of having all these clips. I mean, some of them almost seems like filler. I mean, I haven't watched every clip, honestly, because
well,
the first few...
okay, well, some of it really struck out to me because, like, I was wondering where Mr. Medicare was coming from, because I know that Mr. Medicare, he went off on V, but V in it during 5 hours, 30 minutes into it and 40 seconds into it, it's the leaker is talking, and the leaker says that it's actually Sargon's idea, that the server is Sargon's idea, and that he was manipulating Crouton T because he wanted to like get back at the alt's rights, but he wanted to keep his hands clean.
You know, Sargon is definitely one of the people who was kind of passive to the whole thing about doxing. I mean, he had not a very outraged attitude towards AIU. I mean, one could almost bring in Bearing into this conversation, but I mean, Sargon, he got called out by Naked Ape once for being passive towards AIU. Is what, or no, maybe it was TJ Kirk. Who was it again, Conundrum? I mean, I think I'm confusing characters here.
TJ, the Amazing Atheist.
Okay, my bad. I mean, well, actually, now that I think about it, I mean, Sargon of Akkad, he actually had he actually had an interview with AIU. Let me see if I can like search up the video on YouTube. But he actually had a live stream with AIU in recent memory, like within like the last 7 months or something. So this would have been like well after the whole controversy that was mainly in 2016, or was it 2015, of when that he was like at the height of his doxing. So,
yeah.
Son of a cod.
Yeah, like what my problem is kind of a lot. Like I actually used to be a huge fan of Sargon. I mean, I know this is gonna surprise some people, but I used to be Sargon's Patreon. I actually was Sargon's Patreon, I think like last year or something like that. I used to eagerly watch his channel, and in his old content, he when he used to complain about feminists, he would be all like, "They are doxers, they are liars and doxers." But then Mundane Matt gets caught doxing Dame Pesos, and he doesn't give a shit.
Here it is right here. Shooting the shit with atheism is unstoppable. Within 6 months ago. So it wasn't even 7 months ago. It was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then there's one from 2 years ago discussing atheism and religion with the Armored Skeptic. But yeah, that's the video that I'm recalling right there. So yeah, Sargon pretty much pulling off the same stuff that Loudmouth had called out Bearing for about a year back. I mean, actively buddying up with AIU. I mean, Bearing, to my knowledge, has not done anything like that within recent months. I mean, I'm not going to like actively make a huge shitstorm about about Bearing or Sargon or anyone like hang out with AIU. It raises a massive red flag in my head. Yeah, and I think that they should definitely not be having anything to do with that piece of shit, that unapologetic piece of shit. But yeah, at the same time, I'm not going to like go on a big crusade about it. I don't think about them associating with a former unapologetic doxer. I mean, I'll criticize active doxers, of course, but people who associate with unapologetic former doxers, it's a little bit of a different story. And Loudmouth is his own man. He like he did, can go on about people like promoting indirectly or directly these former unapologetic doxers like AIU. Loudmouth can do that. That's his prerogative. But me personally, I don't know if I would actually do that. And on this conversation, the main reason as to why that I got involved into that drama myself was mainly because of Bearing like seemingly editing Loudmouth out of context. Before that, I did not have anything to do with the Bearing versus Loudmouth drama.
Oh yeah.
But it's old news. I'm not. Again, I must emphasize and like add this disclaimer, or at least I feel like I gotta add this disclaimer every single freaking time, that I'm not looking to like revive old drama that's already resolved. It's just for the record. I'm mentioning this for the record. As far as I know,
you're bringing up history.
Yes, basically. And as far as I know, within recent months, Bearing hasn't really had anything to do with AIU in the least bit. I mean, he like mentioned, he brought up a very short clip of AIU in one of his videos. It was just a sound bite where AIU was all like, virtue. Basically, Bearing was like using self-deprecating humor because I guess he said something that would almost come up as virtue signaling. And then he used AIU's clip to like poke fun at his own self. That was it. But that doesn't really affect anything in a positive way, really, to AIU necessarily. I mean, people are not going to flock to his channel like people did to me when he like, actively played that one clip where I edited him in my apartment, you know? You've seen that clip, haven't you, Conundrum?
Yeah, I did, and I'm surprised AIU didn't get his monkeys after you.
Well, that clip had nothing to do with the drama. That was okay.
Get his monkeys after you. There again.
But actually, I put that clip in the drama review video where I was talking about AIU in a rather negative way towards him. I wasn't talking about Bearing so much in a negative way, but all he did was feature that clip. Just I have like 2 separate videos. There's the like 30-second clip of me editing Bearing in the apartment with me, and then I took that clip and I used it in the full length Loudmouth versus Bearing drama review video.
Yeah.
And he only utilized that one clip. I don't even think he like linked the clip itself into underneath his video that was, responding to Mundane Matt. All he did was link my channel, not the clip itself. I don't think.
Well, Mundane Fap, I don't like him that much anymore.
Yeah. I didn't mean to derail the conversation, by the way. We're talking about Trout and Tonka Saw, etc.
Yeah. Apparently, Tonka Saw is still butthurt over Medicare joking about him. And that's the thing. Medicare always jokes about everybody. In fact, there's this channel I know back when Medicare came back and against he did this thing called Deviants, where he's talking about inflation fetishes. And the commentary community, my community, which I don't even associate sometimes, basically dogpiled Medicare, saying he's kink shaming. Oh my God, Doodle Tones. If you watched the video back then, I think she disowned it or it's unlisted. She had to have the comment section removed. And Medicare did a thing on her called the Hugbox Chronicles, number 7, the Tism Storm. And basically it was both Doodle Tones and another channel, a Brony reviewer named For No Good Reason, because for no good reason try to say, oh, Mr. Medicare, I see that you love to blow the armor skeptic, and Medicare just went off on FNGR for no good reason, bringing up his stupidity and the fact that he got cucked at a BronyCon.
I have a question. Was Mr. Medicare saying anything to imply or even outright say that these fetishists, what's it called, inflation fetishists, that they're immoral, or was he just poking fun at them?
He was poking fun at them. He was.
Well, then I don't see what's the big deal that the fetishists are having against him. Like, grow some thicker skin, I guess.
Yeah, the commentary community. I'll even, if you would like, I can show the Hugbox Chronicles on that.
You talking? Is it the video of where he is criticizing these fetishists? I don't know if I need to see that, honestly.
No. This is called the Hugbox Chronicles. This doesn't have the whole thing about it, but this is funny. Actually, I'll bring it up.
Hurts real bad, or if you have feelings that are making you sad, then it's okay to cry.
Throughout the entirety of the Hugbox Chronicles videos that I've done, it's always focused on an individual or a group that was at the center of an event. Now, usually that event is fairly mundane. They said something or they did something that caused a massive overreaction. People flip their shit. And these videos are dedicated to observing that and talking about it, because it's usually very, very entertaining to watch. You get a bunch of people spurring the fuck out, and you got a good 20 minutes of entertainment out of it. But never once in any of these videos was I at the center of the Tism Storm until today. Now, for those of you that don't know, I recently started a series on my YouTube channel called Deviants. It is a very kind and gentle, introspective journey into the different groups and mindsets of individuals that have specific interests on DeviantArt. Well, wouldn't you know it? People flip their shit. Now, I was up to episode number 3 of this fantastic series, but there are only 2 episodes now currently available on my channel. That is because I was at the center of a massive flagging campaign to get the 3rd one removed. Now, I'll talk about that later on, but I want to start this journey of autism, this adventure of Asperger's. I want to begin it at the beginning. And what better fucking place to begin it than with the YouTube commentary community? You know, I thought that was dead. I don't know how that zombie shambled out onto the ditch that it was put in 4 or 5 years ago, but somehow...
He called you a zombie conundrum.
Around. So imagine my excitement.
That's Doodle Tones.
When this
Okay.
that thing shambled its way on over to me in the form of this amazing video entitled "Kink Shaming Isn't My Fetish, Mr. Medicare" by Internet Freedom Fighter Doodle Tones.
So let me get one of the more fun questions out of the way. What is my sexuality? I consider myself to be asexual.
Well, fan-fucking-tastic. What a great start to a video. I love me a tranny with a voice changer who happens to tell me every possible second of the day that they're asexual. You gotta get that fact out there. It's very important that people know you're asexual. Every fucking moment of the day.
As I feel the way he went about this video left a rather sour taste in my mouth.
Are you sure that sour taste in your mouth is from my video and not the hormones you're taking right now? Just saying.
Already, you're
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
being inflated like a balloon.
Yes, I absolutely am mocking them because they want to be inflated like a balloon. How is that hard to understand?
And you going out of your way to find this, to hassle them for this stuff, is almost borderline harassment, Jim.
Uh-oh. I'm harassing people.
Fuck you. You are actively telling your viewers, hey, go harass this kid who basically draws inflation because I don't like it. This isn't a term I throw around lightly, but you are starting a lynch mob, Jim.
A lynch mob? Well, I'm just going to add that to the list of accomplishments.
For the art, that's one thing. But I cannot sit here and enjoy someone who is advocating for cyber harassment.
Cyber harassment. Not just normal harassment. It's gone digital.
You're just another blatant cyber bully.
Just another blatant cyberbully. Well, you can see Doodle Tunes was a little bit upset. They didn't like my video because I'd encouraged people, at the behest, mind you, of the artist, to go and leave a comment. And I even said positive feedback. But apparently that is inciting a lynch mob in the minds of a transsexual slime girl on YouTube. Now, Doodle Tones, well, she had...
Hey, pause the video.
Yeah.
Ren, are you there right now? Ren?
Yeah, but I think I lost
Okay.
internet connection there for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I got that clue as soon as I saw a second one of you. It was your clone. As soon as I saw your clone enter in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having internet problems recently where I have internet, then I don't have an internet. You see, I'm using a laptop, so I depend on a router. Router doesn't have a really strong connection, so it knocks me offline.
Go hardline. Get like a Wi-Fi cable to connect your laptop into your internet hub.
Mm.
I mean, that's my recommendation. It did wonders for me and my internet endeavors. I mean, my live streams, they for a while kept on cutting me out of the connection, and I would keep on cutting out of my games of Overwatch. But ever since I went hardline, the production value of my live streams just drastically increased. I'm not cutting out anymore, and none of that shit. And I'm able to play Overwatch with quality now. So yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to even be able to host the live stream today because, I mean, I lost internet for like, I don't know, like 10 minutes. I think I lost it for like 10 minutes and then the internet came back.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my recommendation. Continue, Conundrum.
Yeah.
He had more to say about this. This video, I stand behind this. It's from their DeviantArt account. It pisses me off that people find this stuff and feel the need to harass people, and in some cases, start lynch mobs about people, because some people want to express their kinks in a harmless way. This is
pause.
I've been thinking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but unless you have been called a fascist, had your beliefs, your personal beliefs strawman or anything like that, you do not know a cyber lynch mob or anything like that. Or unless you like no offense, Ren, like lived back in the 1960s and we're black. Yes.
If you want to know about cyber lynch mobs, Owen McDonald can show you a cyber lynch mob.
He has a cyber lynch mob.
Oh, yes.
Your video, Mr. Mediker, were you trolling? P.S. I'm not on any side or anything. I thought both sides were wrong. My favorite part of this is at the very end because it gives a really great insight. I think so far it's been worth it. Being the first to call out a name as big as Mr. Mediker, because truth be told, I think this is something he's needed for a while. Well, thank God Doodle Tones is there to call me out. It's something I've needed for a while. But with leading all these lynch mobs, it's very important that somebody stop me before more innocent people are hurt.
Oh my goodness! I mean, this person and Sargon sound alike. Like Sargon is kind of like something needs to be done about Mr. Mediker because he's a mean, evil, nasty bully. Mr. Mediker is literally Satan. I mean, he's literally. I mean, he's literally Hitler. I mean, when I see him, I feel like I'm about to faint.
Yeah, the thing is, Sargon would kick a puppy and he'll blame Jim on it, hands down.
Okay, Mediker might be a roast master to the point that you feel like a pig with a stick up your ass on a spit and an apple in your mouth, but but that ain't that's like first world problems there, if anything. I mean, unless Mr. Mediker is going to actually dox you or even like do some serious slanders or smears against your character, like call you a fascist, a Nazi, a KKK member, or anything like that. Call you, I don't know.
The part that bothers me the most is the hypocrisy, because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, you also were a huge fan of Sargon. Did he also make fun of the feminists all the time at some point?
Oh, look at him. He made fun of Russian Deadpool.
So it's kind of like, it's like you really want to talk. I mean, it's like the pot's calling the kettle black. I mean,
right.
Yeah, it's like you're not in any, he doesn't have any moral high ground to condemn Mr. Mediker. The only way he would be in that position is if he never made fun of the feminists. And I mean, he does act in a way, like Sargon, he does act in a way that's really strange because I can't believe that he's like vindictive enough to look for Mediker's thoughts because you remember that video he made about Christiosity, the one where it saw like the SJWs admit that they're monsters, where he complained about he wants Christiosity to leave him alone.
Chrissy Winters abused me.
Well, Christiosity shared with me some screenshots where he kept annoying her and pestering her, even after he made that stream about wanting her to leave him alone. He would be like on the comment sections or on live streams demanding that Christiosity gives him an apology.
Oh, fuck that.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. Sargon's a bitch, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially if you kind of like take the comment of being an Applebee's waiter, of looking like one anyways.
You hear something? Mr. Mediker did a thing on that guy with the glasses. If he can do it on Doug Walker has nothing to complain. Why the fuck does Sargon has to complain?
Okay, and here's my opinion. I mean, since we're like talking about people not able to take a roast, like these fetishists can't take a roast from Mr. Mediker, and then we're bringing up Sargon. I mean, in the case of Jim, like roasting him, calling him Applebee's waiter, that's a roast, and it's definitely petty for like Sargon to be going after him on that for and also to go so far to call him like a child groomer.
Yeah.
On the case of Christiosity and Chrissy Winters, to be fair, it's still pretty petty in my eyes, but it's a little bit more understandable because it's not like Christiosity or Christy Winters were like playfully roasting Sargon. I mean, I cannot imagine that they were anything but serious with Sargon. Still petty, but not as petty as Mediker calling him Applebee's waiter.
I mean, that's a cute little joke. I mean, Sargon of an Applebee's. I mean, who could get offended by that? It's like, how is that even offensive? It's like, why are you mad, bro? I mean, that's it. Oh, he made fun of Sargon suits. Oh, that I feel really bad and feel really sorry for Sargon. That must be the worst insults ever. That Medicare made fun of the guy's suits.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, I was just checking this guy named MC.
Oh, MC, he is really cool. He is a follower, but he's also like a veteran of the army, if I recall correctly. He served the army, and he was telling me he was telling me stories of what it's like to be a U.S. veteran. And if I recall correctly, I shared his story in one of my videos.
Okay.
Hey, I gotta say,
MC, thank you for protecting our country. I give you my best wishes.
and by the way, just a side note, MC, he says, I'm here to take care of all of you. Sorry, but I'm a little bit too old for granny, sir.
All right.
No,
Do you want me to play this still?
Kidding. I mean, I'm still interested, kind of, but they're not. I mean, it's Rin's.
Oh, yeah.
It's Rin's
Yeah.
live stream.
Yeah, Rin, would you allow me to play more of this? On how Medicare.
Yeah, sure. But I think. Oh wait, did everybody say everything that they wanted to say about the Crowdson Tea and Sunka Salt link?
Okay.
Or
So it seems like the biggest thing here, if not the only thing of any real substance on that issue, is that Tonka Saw offered a bunch of doxing information to Kraut, and Kraut did not refuse that doxing information. He just was being passive about it. Is that the only thing here, or is there more?
Yeah, he passively accepted it, and it seems like and according to the leaker, like Sargon, he was manipulating the crowd because he had issues with the alt-rights as well.
Actually,
That's
there's another thing that I'm curious about. Didn't you say that V said something along the lines of, we need to bring back doxing?
yeah, that's the that was the audio that Mr. Medicare had. Oh, I should mention this. Andy Warski gave everything he had to both Mr. Medicare and Ethan Ralph. I don't
Wait,
know,
what?
I don't know what Andy Warski gave them, but I do know that Andy Warski gave
Wait,
Mr. Medicare and Eden Ralph additional audio and screenshots he had.
whoa. What do you mean by Andy gave Tonka Saw everything?
No, Andy didn't give Tonka Saw anything. Andy hates Tonka Saw. He gave Mr. Metzger and Ethan Ralph extra audio and screenshots and stuff.
Okay. Oh,
So I
okay.
don't
I
know.
did not. I'm sorry. I did not know what you meant by gave him everything. Like Andy Warski gave all of his information and all of his personal finances
No.
to.
That more leaks and more leaks. He had extra leaks, but he was like, "Oh, hey, Medicare, Ralph, we've been going on for 5 hours, so I'm going to give the rest to you, like the rest of the leaks and the audio
So wait, I'm a little bit okay. So Andy Warski was with Mr. Medicare and Ralph, and I assume this is like the Ralph retort guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the right but it was okay. If you watch the original live stream that was 6 hours long, Mr. Medicare was in chats because Mr. Medicare's fans reached out to him, and his fans was like, "You gotta watch the chats. We gotta watch. You gotta watch the live stream. You gotta watch the live stream." So Mr. Medicare was watching the video. He was in the chats.
Oh, okay. So Medicare was not actually in the stream, but Andy Warski and Ralph retort, they were both on live stream looking
No. The Ralph retorts also wasn't in the. Wait a minute, was he? I don't remember. Actually, I can't remember. Actually, never mind. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was an Andy Warski live stream, and Andy Warski was watching these leaked clips of Tonka Saw, V, and Kraut having a conversation about doxing.
Well, V didn't show up until, wait a minute, V didn't show up until 4 hours and 40, I think it's 43 minutes into
Yeah,
it.
Okay.
and Kraut was demanding Sargon to get on the server.
Okay, so it was mainly this is mainly a conversation / live stream between Kraut and T and Tonka Saw, where them two were talking about doxing, and Andy Warski was watching this clip that was leaked
Yes,
to him.
yes.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
an audio leak, okay?
It's making sense now. I was kind of confused. At first I was thinking, oh, wait, Kraut was on a live stream along with Tonka Saw talking about doxing and other stuff like that, but no. It's at least nice to know that Andy Warski has some principles on that front. I mean, I don't know of how much he buys into race realism, or at least more specifically the ideology that falls behind race realism. I don't know. I mean, if he does, well then, yeah, screw him. But hey, at least he's against doxing, you know, and he's calling out Kraut being passive to Tonka Saw, and Tonka Saw like conspiring on this.
Oh,
what we found out about Kraut also is
like Tonka at all.
Let me put it this way: what we found out about Kraut was during the time when he was offline, he was working in construction, building ponds.
Wait, Kraut was building ponds?
Yeah, remember Kraut's channel was dead for a bit?
I know, yeah, he privatized all of his videos, so he was, I mean, whatever helps you find your peace, dude, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, if this is the case, well then that really makes Kraut and T not much better than Coach Red Pill. I mean, Coach Red Pill, what I hear generally is that he
no, not Coach. You got the name wrong. It's not Coach Red Pill. It's Coach Red Shill.
Oh, right, Coach Red Shill. Yes, thank you, Coach Red Shill. I mean, what I hear about him generally is that he tried to frame somebody for rape, which makes him worse than Kraut.
Yeah, he tried to frame Kraut for rape.
Okay, but on the other hand, Kraut is like being passive towards Tonka Saw and his doxing conspiring. That doesn't make Kraut a whole lot better, in my opinion.
No, Kraut is. They're both.
Yeah, if somebody is like, hey, I have a bunch of other people's thoughts, sis. I mean, you're supposed to be like, no, I don't want to see it. Get that away from me. You know, it's like, hey, I don't want anything to do with that. You know,
yeah.
But instead, Krauts passively accepted it. You know, there's no, oh no, don't do this, don't do that, get that away from me. I don't want to see it. And you know, Tonka, I'm booting you out. So I want nothing to do with you. But instead,
the thing is about that, in my personal opinion, like Kraut was preaching all the time. His server was not a doxing server. By Tonka Saw doing that, it made. And Kraut being passive about it, by technicality, Kraut's server became a doxing server.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, if somebody gave me like Richard Spencer's thoughts, I'll be like, get that away from me. I don't want to see it. I don't want any part of it, and I'll probably just block the person because I don't want to see anybody's thoughts. I don't want anybody's personal or private information. You know, and it's kind of like I would probably even reach out. Like if somebody gave me Richard Spencer's thoughts, I'll probably reach out to Richard Spencer and just be like, hey, somebody's trying to do that to you.
By the way,
yeah, even though he wants you booted out of the United States.
By the way, Ren, how's the volume? Can you hear the video through my microphone?
Yeah, I could hear the video. I don't know how the audience feels about the video. Zero Cool, MC, is the audio of the video fine, or is it too loud, or could you barely hear it?
Yeah, because I have my microphone really close to the TV, and I have it that it won't get feedback.
Anyway, yeah.
Would you like me to continue, Rin, on this video?
Well, let's see how the audience feels about it. Zero, Cole, MC, how do you feel? What do you want? Do you want to listen to more of the video, or what do you want?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because people are listening. Yeah, I do want to try to see what the listeners want us to talk about. Oh, MC says go ahead, so I guess you could go ahead.
All right. And when it gets to the, I'll say to the 6 minute, the 8 minute mark, I'll pause and we can talk. Then, yeah, so we won't get any flack.
They needed to call me out. It's something that's gone on far too long. It's a lynch mob. It seems to be a bit personally invested, a little bit personally invested. What could possibly? Oh wait, regarding the sudden censors from Doodle Tones. So I'm moving accounts. Why? Because my grandmother thinks I have a mental illness and doesn't realize some of the stuff I post online. Maybe for fun. Illness? What? What could possibly have made your grandmother think you have a mental illness? Oh, maybe it's, is it that? ABDL, Adult Baby Diaper Lover Role-Playing Group?
What the fuck?
They call you by your proper name, Doodle Diapers. Doodle Diapers, do you get off on shitting yourself? Is that what this is about? Were you upset that there's a potential that I may end up doing a video on diaper shitting? And that's why you went off on a tangent for the inflationists defending them? Well, maybe that's not it. I mean, maybe it's just plain and simple ego. They do talk like they're in a holy crusade, like they're going to teach me a lesson because somebody needs to do it. But here comes Doodle Diapers to fight that battle. Did you know there's a commentary database wiki? Neither did I. I don't know why it needs to exist, but it does. Now, one of the interesting things about that wiki is Doodle Tones has an article. And the article contains a lot of factual information, how many subs they've had, the different accounts that they've had previously. But one of the interesting things about Doodle Tones' specific entry is who edits it. Somebody by the name of Susie Doodle. I wonder, who could Susie Doodle be?
Susie Doodle.
Entering all these different edits on this particular article. Oh, wait, why does that sound oh.
Pause.
Previous channel.
I have a question. What does it sound like I'm doing when I say I'm taking a doodle?
Taking a shit.
Exactly. So when I hear like the name Susan Doodle or whatever he said, the person's last name being Doodle, oh man, I pity that person for having such last name.
Oh my God, shit tones too, shit shows, and shit tone. God, yeah, this is where Doodle Tones flipped her shit in the commentary community. You cannot call her Doodle Diapers; she'll freak out over it.
Susie Doodle. So once this video goes up, there's a bit of a reaction. I of course have a laugh at it because it's fucking retarded. Everything about it is fucking retarded. But people rally around Doodles. They won't let her diapers die in vain. We get some fantastic art, like this piece that one of her friends put up on DeviantArt. I think he might actually be teleporting behind me. :3.
It's supposed to be Mr. Medicure right there and the internet lynch mob.
Oh God.
Teleports behind me. That's what's happening in this picture. I'm bleeding. That's my lynch mob right there. I'm surrounding Doodle Diapers. Doodle Diapers is going to die. You can tell these people are really high quality banter enthusiasts. They really know how to bring that hot shit. They spit the fire.
Oh my God, shit. Okay, I must say that I really, really love Mr. Medicure's humor. I mean, I just can't stop laughing. This guy is incredibly funny.
It's funny. I watched Doodle Toad's video on him, and I'm like, I gotta watch this guy's channel. And I started watching it, and I enjoy it actually.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to enjoy his show because he is so funny. It's like I was just, just I couldn't stop laughing. I just really couldn't stop laughing. I mean, and that's what got me into Medicare in the first place. Because what really did it for me, like what really, really did it for me, was a live stream about Karina and Ice Poseidon, the one where Karina called the police on Ice Poseidon.
Oh yeah.
It was just like non-stop laughter. Like, this guy is killing me.
I know. It's funny
killing me.
Here's the thing. Okay, sorry. Go on.
The thing about Medicare is I like the fact that he could tell good points and adds that humor in it to knock the point home. It's like a home run, basically.
The thing that I'm getting about Doodle Tones is that, okay, is this a chick? Is Doodle Tones a girl?
No, it's a guy.
Okay, I was confused.
I thought Doodle Tone was a girl.
No, it's a guy.
Well, I thought I heard Mr.
Like
Medicare. I thought I heard Mr. Medicare refer to him as she, and so that's where I got confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so Doodle Tones. The only thing that I think he is good for is drama and controversy. I mean, I haven't come across any of his videos in my recommendations, anything of substance or entertainment or anything like that. Usually when I come across whatever I come across of him, it's just mostly people making response videos to him, making review videos of his bullshit and so on and so forth. It's like other people's videos talking about Doodle Tones. It ain't anything from Doodle Tones talking about, say, politics or, hey, look at this funny fail right here and so on and so forth. Yeah. So Doodle Tone seems pretty irrelevant, except as just pretty much a fucking what am I trying to say? Just a kickball, basically. A comedic kickball.
All right. To Medicare, Doodle Tones was not even a mini boss.
Well, no shit. I mean, yeah. Doodle Tones is like low-hanging fruit. It'd be like one of the shrooms from Mario World.
Yeah.
Going against Mario.
A Goomba.
Goomba, right? I couldn't remember what their name was. Yeah. It's like Doodle Tones is like a Goomba, and Sargon of Akkad would be more like the boss battle for Mr. Medicare.
Yeah.
Well, actually, even then, Sargon wasn't. I don't know. Wasn't even really that much of a challenge. The most challenge that Medicare would have got was having all of Sargon's fans going after him. But Sargon being that thin-skinned to the Applebee's waiter comment, it's all like, that was easy.
Let me put it this way. Medicare went after Lindsay Ellis, and Lindsay Ellis was not that much of a fight to Medicare.
I don't know who Lindsay Ellis is.
The nostalgia chick.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She's kind of condescending and pompous.
Yeah, but Mr. Medicare, from what I could get of him is that he would go after anybody. Like, I mean, I was watching this old video of his, and he was like, I would go. He says like, that in his Twitter account, he would troll the police, and he would get blocked by the Munich police. He would get blocked by the Scottish police, the French police, all on Twitter, So it seems like he would just target, like he said, he got blocked by judges on Twitter.
Hey, Mr. Medicare, if you're watching this, can you please do a roast on me, sir?
I mean, he is funny, so it's kind of like, hell, I wouldn't even mind if he did a roast on me because.
Something to be roasted by Medicare would be the highest honor, in my opinion.
Oh, actually, no, Mr. Medicare, change of plans. If you are watching this, do a roast on Conundrum. He's the one who actually truly wants it the most.
Oh yes, believe me.
Yeah.
Medicare, I remember Medicare back in the day, and to get roasted by him is like an honor. It's like you're being in like the New York the Friars Club when they used to do roast. The Dean Martin roasting.
Yeah, I mean, because roasts are actually kind of fun. Like, I mean, I do like roasting even long before I've even heard of Medicare. Like, I really enjoyed the roasting of Flavor Flav, and I think he got
Oh
roasted
my
twice,
God.
and I enjoyed both of them. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I happen to like roastings.
I love the roast of Bob Saget. That was the best.
All right.
All right.
So if we're wanting to continue with this video, yeah.
Yeah.
That fucking sick bird, bro. Fucking sick bird. I wonder who that is. I want to know the master of bands that came up with that. Oh, he looks like a badass. He looks like a badass.
He looks like a cuck.
I subscribe account.
Son of Sparta. More like son of Sparta. That giant fucking eraser in your mouth. Taking out that speech impediment. Why? Twitter was awash with the best of fans coming from the YouTube commentary community and the DA Tartlet community. This about Mr. Medicare? He's honestly a piss baby, but it's not just him. He's basically if Red Supreme was politically motivated. It's a huge conflict of interest that irks me.
Hey, pause.
Yeah.
Here's what I think of when I hear doodle tones. I think of Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot. Like,
oh yes.
I think that's the biggest reason why I thought that Doodle Tones was a female is because he was using a female, quote unquote female robot avatar. And
the thing is, Doodle Tone uses a voice changer.
Oh, so the dude pretends to be a girl.
Yeah.
Wow, what an incel.
Oh my God, there's pictures of Doodle Tones where you see his computer, and yeah, I will not be. Let me put it this way: I have a lot of history with Doodle Tones. How can I say this? It's like one of those love-hate relationships because I love Doodle Tones for her Yu-Gi-Oh content, but at the same time, Doodle Tones did a commentary on me and blew me out of, and basically marked me as the son of Hitler.
Oh, whoa. Doodle Tones did a video against you. I gotta see this. The conundrum.
Oh yeah, if probably tomorrow I'll show it.
Riddle me this, the conundrum. Is that it?
Yeah.
Motivated, Red Supreme, conflict of interest. I don't know what the fuck this person's talking about. It's like a word salad. It's a word salad, and they're bulimic. They're just barfing up nonsense. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But it wasn't just Twitter. No, it was the comment section of Doodle Diaper's video itself. Now, I went there as the nice guy that I am.
I love that. Well, this Mr. Medicare guy sounds horrible. I heard he runs a Brondo guzzling cadre of right-wing fanatics that promote execution of homosexuals in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, I also heard that Mr. Medicare is like advocating for a white ethno state. Didn't you hear of that conundrum?
I take him with a grain of salt because he's a comedian. He tells funny jokes.
No. I'm being sarcastic myself as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did that sound? Did that sound serious or something?
Yeah. I heard Mr. Medicare gets orders from Hitler's brain. He saved it, and the brain pulses are on a computer and things.
Oh no! You're getting the history wrong. It was actually Mr. Medicare's grandfather who, like, as soon as it's all a conspiracy. See, Hitler did not really shoot himself. It was an agent of Hitler who was a very good look-alike. You see, Mr. Medicare's grandpa, like, took Hitler into a bunker and did, like, brain surgery to extract Hitler's brain out of his head, put it in a jar, and, like, connect it to a computer so that Hitler could continue giving orders with his brain through a computer. And now, fast forward over 70 years, around 70 years later, he is now giving Mr. Medicare orders to this day.
Yeah, and they're trying to hack the internet to find the cloning process so Medicare can clone Hitler a new body.
Oh, no. They're already making strides in cloning. You see, do you not know of who all those alt-right trolls are?
Yeah.
They're just clones of parts of Hitler, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, enough roasting on alt-righters and etc.
Dangerous individual. And of course, they took it very well. They all...
But we're on a video talking about my video. At least one person does.
took it very well, my presence on that video. But it was one comment in particular that would be the very upper edge, the very tip of a fucking autism motherfucker that I was going to crack into. I found the vein that goes deep, and that vein is for no good reason either.
Hi there, kiddo. I think we got business later.
Kiddo, I think we got business later. Well, holy shit. I fucked with
That's for no good reason right there.
an individual. Look,
He looks like an incel, believe it or not.
Oh god, no. I agree with you.
He looks like one of those guys. He looks like that one guy from To Catch a Predator.
He looks like a much uglier version of Weird Al back in the 80s.
Yeah.
look at that. And he's got business with me later. I don't know about that. That sounds a little
Oh, Jesus Christ.
risky. What kind of business do you have with me, sir? Now, this is a very special individual, and you're going to find out why. It's really tough to explain who the fuck this is and just how autistic they are. Now, our first actual interaction was on Twitter. I casually said,
Oh shit! Someone has business with me later, and they know I'm a kid. I need an adult. And FNGR, will you hold my hand in the moonlight?
that I needed an adult because some strange man on the internet was talking to me. His response was, will you hold my hand in the moonlight? No, but I'll hold the rope while they bring you to the tree.
Now, I will say this about Mr. Medicare. I mean, a lot of his persona almost comes off as a really sophisticated teenage kid with his hat on sideways that just, roasts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly a negative towards Mr. Medicare, but I could just imagine the exact same personality that Mr. Medicare is put on right now, like in a kid from a movie that is a professional roaster that makes even the adults cry,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Medicare is really good. I think he got Bait Alaska to cry, or close enough to it. There's this conflict between Mr. Medicare, Bait Alaska, where a fan of Medicare was kind of like take a cow tech and end your scream, and then Beta was like, cow tech, what's that? And then Mr. Medicare was chuckling, and he was a lot like, a cow tech kids are gone, they're telling you to kill yourself. And then Beta Alaska, he did get very sad at that point.
I have a question. Is there anybody that suffered through a roast of Mr. Medicare? Okay. Was there anybody who is like a victim, so to speak, for lack of a better wording? Was there anybody who is like a victim of Mr. Medicare's roasting and actually thanked him for it or something?
Believe it or not, FNGR.
FNGR?
Yeah, the guy who he's going to be talking about. FNGR thanks him because he put him on the right direction.
Oh wait, Medicare put FMGR on the right direction?
Yeah, with Medicare roasting him, and it brought light to him.
Okay, what do you mean? Like FMGR's life was in shit condition, and Mr. Medicare actually helped him out.
The thing is, there was this one video by FNGR where you remember Ashley Fox. Dark. There was this one thing Medicare did a roast on. Ashley Fox, which was from the Cara the Wolf situation. Ashley tried to take the video down. FNGR went on a thing about it saying, Ashley, you shouldn't do this. Medicare got me once, and it changed me a lot, and it made me a better person and a better content creator.
Okay, so it got his shit in order, or I can't remember the exact word that you used, but it got his stuff in order, in that it helped him, his channel, like
it gave him the boot in the ass he deserved.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, yeah, go on.
And in very short order, with that tweet going up, he produced a video. Mr. Medicare tells you what you can like for no good reason.
Mr. Medicare, I've been told you like a good fight. Also been told that A-Chan blows you. And I see Armored Skeptic comments. Oh, what the hell? I think I'll patron smacking you around on YouTube. Let's see what you can do, kiddo.
Well, I do love a good fight. I'm not so sure about A-Chan blowing you, though. But I don't know what the fuck Armored Skeptic has to do with any of this. In fact, that's theme in his video. You're going to notice that going forward. He talks about a lot of unrelated shit, like the first 3 minutes of this video that I cut out completely, which was talking about something completely fucking off topic. And just do a search. You would get 139,008 results for inflation, along with the knowledge that God is dead.
Yep, another Armored Skeptic faggot whining about God being dead. Because his life sucks. Well, I'm a Catholic puddin', let's dance.
You know, one of the classic signs of being on the autism spectrum, especially towards the end that used to occupy Asperger's syndrome, was that you can't pick up on social cues, and that you also don't get humor, satire, jokes. It goes right over your head. You take it literally, like taking what I just said as a statement of my non-faith as an atheist, rather than the punchline to a fucking joke.
Okay, back when I was 21, I dated a furry.
Shocking. Who saw that coming?
If I make this too obvious, the Armored Skeptic is going to want to poke me too.
He sure seems to hate the Armored Skeptic. It's a little bit weird to make a video directed at me where you talk about Armored Skeptic. Fucking much.
But you put that close enough together for your simple-ass, dumpy, fuck-face fans could come to that conclusion. No wonder 8chan worships you. It's like I'm finally getting the chance to take the piss out of Anon. Oh, buddy boy, this has been a long time coming.
Again, I don't know what the fuck this has to do with the cowboard, or Armored Skeptic, or the guy you talked about for 3 minutes at the start of the video. But you should be queuing in on as you're watching this that for no good reason has a little bit of a tism problem. A tiny bit of the tism.
I can't do this anymore. So this is what I'm going to do. Like when I did with Phantom Menace. You me, hard as you can. You go off and slap the shit out of me. I highly suspect you won't, because I noticed that Phantom Menace got all brave on your Twitter. Oh, hillbilly boy, when your hero here doesn't pipe up.
One is go. Oh, this is going to be great. Fucking great. Christmas in July. Teleports behind you. Nothing personal, kid. Shoves bike plumb up your ass.
I'm about to make an example out of your ass. See you soon.
Well, the gauntlet's been thrown. I mean, how can I avoid a challenge? I love a good challenge. And so I offered it to him. You me, hard as you can. Well, I mean, if you insist, I'm always glad to have guests on Meadowcast. What days work for you? But of course, because for no good reason is a giant walking vagina. He can do it on his own.
What days work for you? Can I bring someone? I know more knowledgeable people on commentary practices.
That shit talk after a video challenging me after all the comments on Twitter and in the comment section of YouTube videos. He demanded that people come with him.
Well, 2 to 3. What does your Saturday, Sunday schedule look like? Any particular times better? You'd like to bring others? How many? Well, 1 to 3. 2 to 3. Okay, Saturday and Sunday are a bit strained any time of the week. 12-hour shifts on the weekend.
Wanted a backup crew. He wanted his posse to roll along with him on the Meadowcast. Being the nice guy that I am, I acquiesced.
Sure, that's... How about Tuesday, the 6th, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time? You want to bring 2 to 3 other people? Sure, why not? Sure, that sounds fucking amazing. This is a Skype or Hangout. Skype works a lot more.
I told him, sure, we can do that. He asked for specific days and specific times. I gave in to that as well. And so an agreement was reached. He was going to finally show me my place. He was going to teach me a lesson I would never forget. The stream was set up.
I'm happy to announce Meadowcast this Tuesday, 6 p.m. Central. Central Standard Time with FNGR, inshallah.
Advertised it. It was going to be at 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. He had his friends that were going to come with him, and we were going to see just how hot his banter was, how good the points he could drive home were going to be. But within a few hours of that agreement, things already started to go south. The first sign trouble was on its way.
Still waiting for you to say Eastern, Central, or Pacific time. By the way, you should listen to SoCast episode 9. Mr. Medicare talks about you and Doodle diapers. That faggot literally said he wasn't open till next.
Was when he tried to reconfirm the time with me. Now, the reason that would be a problem is because he enthusiastically
Sure, sounds fucking amazing. This on Skype. Oh yeah.
Agreed on the specific time he had set up, and it clearly lists the day, time, and time zone of when that's going to be. More than that, he was retweeting people that were talking about the specific fucking time. And it wasn't just myself that was picking up.
But you responded to multiple tweets to clarify stated the time. Do you read your shit you respond to?
On these nervous behaviors. This dude is totally going to bail.
This dude is totally on bail. What a coward.
What a coward. Well, that guy totally fucking called it. We've decided to fuck off, Mang. Have a nice day. This is within 24 hours of agreeing to all his demands, giving him the time he wanted, allowing him to bring people with him, and he decides not to do it. All right.
I don't know. Okay, stop. So I don't know why people find Mr. Medicare so scary. I mean, when I watch his content and when I watch his live streams, he doesn't sound all that scary to me. Like I saw him with the arguing with Bronx Blogger, and Mr. Medicare was nice enough. Like they had a good conversation going. Mr. Medicare wasn't mean or rude or anything. And I saw like him had another guy on his channel, but this was some time back, and again he had a civil dialogue with somebody he disagreed with. So I mean, I don't know why people are afraid of Mr. Medicare and act like he's this scary spawn of Satan. I mean, I just don't know why so many people are afraid of that guy. I just don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Hell, Medicare actually had Iron Liz, like Cara's ex-lover, on a stream, and Medicare actually helped Iron Liz straighten out and see that a lot of the stuff that was going wrong in the feminist community, and became an anti-feminist because of it.
Yeah, what's interesting about Mr. Medicare is like he does have he some people that you wouldn't expect to be his fans are actually his fans. Like he actually does feminist fans and some fur.
Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Oh, Rain probably lost internet connection again.
Oh, yeah. Let me check.
I can only imagine.
The stream is still live.
Oh, crap.
Well, when Ren gets back, do you want me to play more of the video?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm here, aren't I?
Good. I thought the internet went out for you.
Guys?
What?
You know how we were talking about a certain controversial person earlier?
Sargon?
Shots and tears?
No. Well, more controversial than that. No, apparently I'm in the same one of the same Discord servers as Coach Red Pill.
Oh, boo-hoo. I don't like Coach Red Pill. I don't like him for what he said about Jeremy. Luckily, Jeremy challenged the fucker to a fight. I would love to see that.
I'm just saying, I mean, it just it makes me kind of edgy about this server all of a sudden.
Yeah. Don't work. The thing is, with Coach Red Shell, I'll say this. Zach.
Listening?
If you like him, that's more power to you. But I don't like him because he's a shitty person and practices shit.
I never said that I liked him.
And what's the worst he's gonna do? Make a video talking shit about us. His fans will come to us, sub to us, and we get a little bit more traffic on our channel.
I don't know. I would be more concerned about him going on a doxing campaign or something towards any of us.
It's like oh my God, Zach. He won't get up. I don't think he'll go after us where people like Trout and them are just dissing him and stuff.
Well,
we're just saying Coach Red Shell, just as a joke.
You know, I'm not really worried necessarily. I mean, it's not like we caught the guy's attention or anything. It's just I found it kind of it raised a slight red flag in my head when I like strolling through the members list of one of my Discord servers here.
Yeah, I'm not worried about being doxxed because I'm pretty sure that most people don't know that I exist. So it's kind of like nobody's going to. I mean, it's like, sure, I might be doxxed, but it's unlikely because very few people stumble upon my channel.
You also have to remember you're like a radical centrist, Rin. So therefore, I don't think anybody will pick fights with you.
Oh yeah, yeah, they don't pick fights with the fence sitters that much.
Don't you mean fence shitters? No, just
yeah, that's what we're called the time, fence shitters and stuff. But some groups are the last bit of the skeptics that follow ethics, and most skeptics today don't even follow ethics anymore.
Right. Hey, I think you got a bit of a flirty fan, by the way, Ren. Somebody named Geek Freak in the chat says it's the beautiful lady.
Yeah, wait a minute. What were you saying? What were you saying, Patrick?
It's
Patrick.
Like we're the only few skeptics left that have ethics, actually.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say something to it. Yeah, like that is my problem with the skeptic community because it seems like anything is okay as long as it's going after the feminists. Like, like you can do anything you want, as long as you're going after the feminists. But it's like I said in my really old video from like a year ago, and I still stand by today. It's like you gotta hold yourself to high standards. That is what I'm going to like about you instead of making excuses like the enemy does it, the enemy does it, the enemy does it. No. You hold yourself to high standards. That is what I like about Zach. The reason why what I like about Zach and the reason why I promoted him so many times is because Zach holds himself to high standards.
Believe me.
Oh, thanks, Ren. That means a lot.
The thing about me is my standards is, you got to practice what you preach. If all the skeptics, the ones that are corrupted,
all the mainstream skeptic community members,
yeah, all of them went up against Gamergate for ethics and gaming journalism on the internet and in real life. Now all the skeptics don't even practice what they preach with about ethics. They rather go to the tactics of SJWs. The funny thing is, I always say about these mainstream skeptics is, for your birthday, I'm buying all you a bunch of mirrors so you can look at yourselves.
Yep.
Yep, but it's the beautiful lady. Thank you, Geek Freak. That's really nice of you.
Let me put it this way. I'll be honest. I used to watch a Sargon back then. He had pretty good content. Now, recently, he's been going downhill.
Yeah, in other news, water's wet.
Oh. Yeah, it's like, okay, like, I didn't know that you were a Sargon fan, Patrick. This is my first time here. So it's like, it's weird. It's like,
honestly, all three of us. I have heard that either.
all three of us were Sargon fans. All of us used to love his channel. We all
Yeah.
used to. He did great content. I used to be his Patreon, but it's kind of a lot. Like I just really think he loves sniffing. Get Senkai off his own farts. Basically, it's like his ego has really got into his head, and he's like such a narcissist, and his ego is so unbearable. It's like no, no, no. And I mean, people are making fun of Metsuker because he said I'm fucking better than you, V. But I mean, when listening to him on the kill stream, Metsuker doesn't come across as all that narcissistic.
Okay, Mr. Medicare, you know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of Anna Kasparian saying, "I'm fucking better than you."
The funny thing
I'm
is,
sorry.
the funny thing is, I think the real reason why Sargon hates Medicare, has this massive hate boner for Medicare, in my personal opinion, Medicare has ethics, and he's not a phony like Sargon.
I totally
Right.
agree with you. Like that seems to be Sargon's problem with harmful opinions. Remember the Candid scandal?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
harmful where Harmful was calling out to all of the mainstream skeptics. Harmful called Shoe on Head, Blair White, Bering. He called them all out. And like Sargon, he basically told Harmful to shut the fuck up and stop talking, or like you're not a skeptic anymore, like you're not one of us anymore, like shut up, Harmful. But Harmful, he kept making his videos serious about the skeptics and Canada because these people claim to be free speech absolutists, and even though they claim to be free speech absolutists, they are promoting Candid that it's not a free speech platform, and they're showing it to their audience.
I remember one time during the kill stream, they wanted to get Sargon on. The thing is, Sargon didn't want them to have super chats enabled, and it's like, God damn it, Sargon! You're becoming the skeptic. You're becoming just like the one person that you called out for a debate, and the money would be made to go to charity. You're becoming Steve Shives.
No. I don't think Sargon's like Steve Shives. I think he's a lot like Anita Sarkeesian.
Yes. Oh my
shit.
Sargon is like too much like Anita Sarkeesian for me to stand. It's kind of like what really got me. Like another thing that really bothered me, aside from him whining and moaning about Christiosity, was when he was on some channel like Michelle Caitlin, and he went off on the people on chats saying this is not how white people are supposed to behave. White people are supposed to be polite to each other. You are hurting my feelings.
Yeah, you're a bunch of white. You're a bunch of white N-words.
Yeah, you're a bunch of white N-words. I mean, I wouldn't say it because I'm still a small, tiny channel, and people can still easily.
That's why I said N-word instead of the full word.
Yeah, people could still flag my channel down. Like if a person really wanted to flag my channel down, they probably could like look at that timestamp and be like, flag. Racist bigot.
And the thing is, during that whole thing with the Sargon and Dankula, it's funny how Dankula was doing all the work and Sargon just stole the show.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's the thing. That proves that Sargon's a narcissist, in my opinion. Those are a lot of points of a narcissist. They can never admit they're wrong. They're manipulative. They're sociopathic, and I'm starting to think Sargon's basically a sociopath at this point.
Yeah, look, another thing about like Sargon, it's like even the way he talks to his friends, because again, I used to be a fan of his and I used to look forward to watching him, but I noticed on the live streams, like I remember him talking down to Weird Sort of Cause, or I would notice him talking down to Krauts and T. He would talk down to his own friends as if his own friends are small children. Like it's like if he talks to me like that, it's like I'm from the streets. I would go off from him. I mean, that streets girl would come my house.
Oh, believe me, you're talking from a kid who lives in Philly, a guy who lives in Philly. My philosophy is don't come in on a high horse in front of me because I'll be the person to knock you off that fucking high horse.
Yes, like if certain guns were to touch to me, like I was a small child, I would go all ghetto on his ass. You know, I would just go completely ghetto.
You'll become ratchet on him.
Yeah, I would go ratchet.
Rin, I have to say this in the words of Humphrey Bogart. This is the start of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, we do seem to have a lot in common.
All right. Would you like me to continue this video?
Wait a minute. Let's see what the audience wants. I mean,
yeah.
Should the video continue? Yay or nay? You know, let's get the audience chance to respond. You know, like if the audience wants us to continue with the video, or if we should talk about something else. And
this is what I like about your channel, Rin. You actually you're actually one of the true YouTubers, in my opinion, because you also treat your audience with respect, and because your subscribers and audience is your lifeblood, and you never want to destroy that. And that's the thing I beginning to like about you, Zach, myself, S-Man. We treat our audience with grace and respect like most content creators should do.
Yeah.
I am not getting a response from the audience, so I guess you could go ahead.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else for us to go on. I mean, nothing else except for the video. In my opinion.
Lancer, I'm pitching you. You defeated Mighty 4chan Man. I'm not sure if he calls himself that. If that's like his own little superhero name. Does he call himself Mighty 4chan Man? Is that why he hates me because he thinks I'm 8chan Man? Are we having a Chan war, Anthony? Is that or is it maybe that you're fucking retarded and you are a coward? See, I have no problem with people running their mouth. They do it all the time. I have no problem with people shit talking and shit posting. I love it. I engage in it. But that's not what Anthony was doing. Anthony means what Anthony says. He wanted to come at me, and I gave him the opportunity to get it to him on a golden platter, and he backed out. Now, why did he back out after being given everything that he wanted? Well, at first he had said, it's because of work. He wanted me to get on Skype with him because he wanted to tell me that he had a work shift to attend, and he wouldn't be able to make the cast. But you know what's strange about that, Anthony, is the fact that you were on Twitter at 6 p.m. on the day of the Meadowcast talking about videos you were uploading at that very moment and updating other sites that you go to. So if you're working this back-breaking, arduous 12-hour work shift, why are you on social media at the very moment you ducked out of my cast to upload shit and to tweet shit and to write journals and to comment on video? It's almost like that excuse was complete bullshit. But Anthony's not just a massive fucking pussy. He can't accept responsibility for his own fuck-ups. He made himself look like an asshole, and people wrote him very hard for that. When it turned out his bullshit work excuse wasn't going to fly, he tried to cast the blame off himself. And he did that by saying, well, if this person agrees to do a stream with me, I'll do my stream with you, Jim. But if they don't agree, well, then it's their fault I don't show up for your stream. He even went so far as to make a fucking video blatantly saying that. Horse News and Mr. Medicare, and this is how it's gonna go.
Dear Horse News and Mr. Medicare, recently I've declined the chance to be on Mr. Medicare's podcast. Horse News attempted to shame me down about it, and I turned around and lovingly reminded them that Capper General has dick-tucked my podcast on 2 to 3 offers. So I counter-offered that Capper could agree to come on my show, and I'll go on Mr. Medicare's Tuesday. I seem to recall when we were establishing Duking It Out, you reminded me the terms as follows. As hard as I can. Is what I'm doing underhanded, sneaky, weaselly, conduct unbecoming a gentleman? By all means, you can distance yourself from me. You can say, I, the internet aristocrat, will have nothing to do with you. Do not talk about me. Mr. Medicare, I don't respect or like you. I thought I'd made that abundantly clear, and you seem to return the same tone in kind. I'm not holding to you because you fight feminism or 8chan worships you. I'm sorry that your moral fifis have been hurt, and you can go cry on Tumblr now.
No, Anthony, my fifis aren't hurt. What's hurt is your credibility, your respectability, is your ability to go online and not be laughed at for being a giant fucking pussy. Your attempt at puppet mastering your way out of this falls flat. Everybody can see through it. This has jack shit to do with horse news not going on your fucking retarded podcast. Your original excuse was you could not make the podcast because of work. Now, if that
Yeah,
was
I agree with Medicare here. Like, this guy is just a coward. I mean, and there are so many people, like, even to this day, there are still so many people who are afraid of Mr. Medicare, and that apparently even back then, Mr. Medicare evidently intimidates people. I don't get it though.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything to be
Believe me,
here regarding this guy.
I'm going to say this. Anthony pulled on Monday Matt before Monday Matt was cool by basically bitching out.
Oh yeah, I heard some of that, but at least okay, Monday Matt would still be worse, right? Because he still like went on a flagging spree. He flagged the kill stream. He flagged Dame Pesos. He even flagged Mr. Medicare. So I mean, I do not respect, how two-faced Monday Matt says. He's like, no, I'm not that type of person. I'm against flagging. If you're an audience member of mine, do not flag people. I think that's wrong and morally repugnant. And then he just went after Dame Pesos because he didn't like being made fun of over the internet. Even though it's kind of like, it's kind of like you gotta take, I mean, if you're gonna be that big, you know that there's gonna be people who's gonna make fun of you. You reach a certain size, you reach, 150 subscribers, there are gonna be people who are gonna make fun of you. Hello, am I still there?
I'm here. Sorry, it's just I'm sorry. I guess I'm getting kind of tired for one thing.
Oh, if I was wondering if I lost the internet connection again, or if my, mic went out or something, or if I sounded like a robot.
No, you're all right. Hello, Conundrum, are you still there? Conundrum. I guess Conundrum lost his internet connection or something. Rain, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay. Actually, since Conundrum has left, and yeah, I said that I wasn't going to stay on this stream for that long anyways. Think I'm gonna leave right now.
That's fine. Do you want to share out your channel to tell people what you do?
All right. Hello everybody. Anybody who is still watching, I am the Dark Conservatarian, conservative, libertarian, Christian, capitalist, political ranting edgelord. I have my own little news show. I sometimes do shortened down versions of it, but it's mostly a bunch of news live streams. And Conundrum, you're back.
Sorry about that. I overheated a bit on my computer, so I put the air cooler on.
Okay. Well, I think I was going to leave anyways, myself at least. I've had my fill.
Okay.
And besides, I got some stuff that I have to get ready for something. But anyway, yes, I am the Dark Conservatarian. Check out my channel. I do response videos. I do news shows. And I try to keep my audience both informed and entertained. Probably more entertained than informed. But anyways, that's all I have to say. And thank you, Rin, for having me on. It's been fun. And Conundrum, thank you for showing me that video.
Okay.
As always, it's witty and informative conversation with the both of you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Sorry about that. A computer crashed.
Yeah, I know. I've been having technical difficulties on my end too. Like I said, I lost like internet connection for a while, and it took a while for me to get internet. Like I didn't even know there was going to be a live stream, and then I was trying OBS for the first time, but
Oh yeah,
I
OBS. The thing I would do is what I'm going to be doing actually is going on YouTube and how to set it up.
couldn't do what?
Watch a YouTube video on OBS, how to stream with OBS.
Oh yeah, like Irate Bear has been helping me. Like Irate Bear, he told me to watch videos by Jeff Holiday because he gives a great tutorial, and it told me that my resolution was too high, that
Yeah.
I need to use a lower resolution, and that's what went wrong. And like there was already somebody in chat, so it's like, well, I didn't want to keep this person waiting, so it's like, okay, I'll just do something that I know how to do so that nobody would be stuck waiting.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know how to hand out the live stream link through OBS.
Yeah. Hello there, Real Raven 2000. Yeah, Real Raven says hi.
Oh, Real Raven is on the chat. Oh, hello, Real Raven. Is there an? Do you want to hop on? I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't mind if extra people would want to come on. I mean,
You know what? Well, in the words of Dr. Eggman from Sonic, you know what they say: the more, the merrier.
It's just that, like, I thought that the original topic was going to be a lot longer, but I think we just agreed to.
Yeah, yeah. God, if Sargon got to watch out for two born people.
Yeah, I guess it's too much of an echo chamber. It's kind of like, oh yeah, this is what I take it, and it's like everyone's like, yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, we all came to the exact same conclusion, and because we all think the same, we can't really debate each other. So it's kind of like, uh.
Yeah, no, I am not the adult version of Aspie. I'm the anti-version of Aspie, where Aspie's all Christian and doesn't believe in sex and debauchery. I am a person who's into sex and debauchery.
Yeah, let me look at chat.
Like Aspie could be the Christian Christ. I'm more the Antichrist.
Can't hope is oh, you don't want to come on Real Raven? You don't? Because 74 Raven wants to come on. I mean, I don't mind giving him a link. It's just that we agreed so much. It's like you haven't really stated an opinion that I disagree with. Like even when we first met and we first began, I didn't even know that you also like Mr. Medicare, and you know far more about him than I do because I don't really know much about that guy. I really can't say I know anything about him.
Yeah, Medicare I knew because he was one of the original founders of the commentary community. And I showed you a lot of his early work.
Yeah, and that's the difference because it's like when I first met you, you were telling me about Mr. Medicare because you know that I hardly know anything about the guy,
And when I was on Zach's stream, I gave the history of Medicare.
Yeah, everybody's curious about that guy. Like everybody seems to be curious about him. Like, what's going on? Who is Mr. Medicare? I don't know much about him.
And even if he wasn't doxxed, even if I met him in real life, I would keep that a secret till the day I die. Because my opinion is nobody should not know Medicare's true identity. Sort of that whole respect thing I always have.
Yeah,
it's like
people don't get why people like Mr. Medicare's channel. For me, his identity, his identity is since important because for me, he's a great comedian and a great storyteller.
Yeah, to me, if I ever met him in real life, I would be like Alfred and keep that identity secret.
I don't know. For me, I might be a little bit disappointed because I just like being lost in his channel. Like I like, I just like, I don't know. It's like I think that Mr. Medicare, like if he wasn't a YouTuber, he could do a really good job, like doing audiobooks where he like reads a book out
Oh, yeah.
loud because he has that voice, he has that really beautiful voice that's fun to listen to. Like it's very relaxing.
And the funny thing about it is, Medicare, he's liked by a lot of people, both like, even including some feminists like Medicare. Personally think that Kevin Logan likes him because he never did a Descent of a Manosphere on Medicare. It's hard to do.
You would not believe this, but like I got into like an argument with a person who was gender non-binary, and then I realized that this gender non-binary person is a huge Medicare fan, and it's like this person is a feminist. And they're gender non-binary, and they love Mr. Medicare's channel. I was really, really shocked and surprised and taken aback. And I was surprised that there were people on chat that says, I'm part of the furry community, and I love you, Mr. Medicare. Thank you for calling the furries out. Thank you calling us this degeneracy. And it's like it's really amazing because it's kind of like actually I think that Bronx blogger who's part of Antifa, I think even he likes Medicare. And like I was like looking at his Twitter account, and it seems like Destiny likes Medicare too. It's like people you wouldn't expect to like Medicare.
Oh, yes. Definitely. Because Medicare is that one person that is like that one post, like that one thing. He doesn't care about who you are. Feminist, right wing, left wing. If he'll beat the piss out of you, he'll beat the piss out of you.
But that is also what I love about Mr. Medicare. Like that's the thing that I find to be very attractive about him is that like he doesn't really care if you are a feminist or a skeptic or like wasn't Beta Alaska alt-right? It's kind of like if he wants to go after you, he's just gonna go after you. He doesn't really make any exceptions. And that is just so refreshing instead of like it being like you're on my side. So because you're on my side, I can't say anything about you. Mr. Medicare, he doesn't give a flying fuck. He would talk about anybody.
He went against Warski, and that's funny as fuck.
Mr. Medicare went after Andy Warski.
Yeah, remember he was joking about him lighting his nipple on fire?
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was on his Twitter. Yeah,
before I got flagged down.
Yeah, he joked about it, and it's like he doesn't care what side you're on. If he finds something funny that can be a joke about it, he'll joke about it. That's why I like him a lot.
That's what I like about him too. He doesn't pick sides. He's in nobody's side. He would make fun of literally anybody, and that's refreshing. I get sick and tired. I'm so tired of people picking a side. I get like for real. It begins to piss me off. All of those people who pick and choose a sides, and finding Mr. Medicare was really refreshing because it's like finally a person who would make fun of absolutely anybody. It's about time I found a channel like this.
And my main theory of why Sargon's going after him, because that's what Jim's about. He doesn't pick a side, and Sargon views that as, this is something that could really destroy me.
Yeah, but that's what he did. That's what he doesn't get. Like he says that Jim grumps people, but actually, the truth be told, what I love about Medicare and why I fell in love with his channel is that he doesn't pick a side. It's like I've been looking for something like that. I've been looking for a channel like that for a long time, and it's like I finally found a channel like that.
Mm-hmm. Good God, it's it's great that we have a person like Medicare. He's like one of those last, how can I say this? And I could put a good analogy to this. He's one of those last knights who follow that code of honor.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, because like for me, I mean, I don't really pick a side. Like if you're cool to me, I'll be cool to you. And I think that's what you, me, and even Loudmouth Review has in common. Because it's like for me, even though I am moderate right wing, I am friends with Christiosity, who's a progressive.
Yeah, let me put it this way, Rin. I tell everybody I'm very honest, blunt, and tell it how it is. But if you ever call me out on my wrongs, I am that real type of person that will apologize to you. I've done it before. I remember one story I can bring up. I called my friend a hypocrite when they deserved it, and it destroyed them. So the very next day, I went to that person's door, knocked on it, and I said, "Look, I stepped over the line by calling you a hypocrite." And a lot of people say I have the cojones to admit when I'm wrong.
Yeah, I also am the type to admit that I am wrong, Like there was a disagreement between me and Christiosity, and I realized that Christiosity was right and I was wrong. And I was like, Christiosity, I was wrong. You did actually bring up a valid point. I'm sorry.
And it's very hard to find people like that anymore.
Yeah, it's really hard to find, people who would apologize. That's the reason why I do like Blair White. What I like about Blair White is that she did make a video saying, "I am wrong." Not only that, but in live streams, she says that she's wrong all the time in live streams, So, I do like it when a person admits when they are wrong, because that is very rare. It's really rare to find anybody who's like that.
You know something, I always say this: the most nourishing meal ever for you is swallowing your own pride. That is the most nourishing meal in life, because it makes your body more stronger not to do that same thing ever again.
It's like when people admit when they are wrong, I find them more likable. It's like, man, I like you more. I think you're a better person than most.
Oh yes, believe me, I ate a lot of crow in my past. That's why I'm used to it, and during my past, I was a horrible teenager, an angsty teen, the worst type of teen ever. Even when I got older, I learned to swallow my pride more, and I became more likable to people. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, but
it's kind of funny looking back on that.
Yeah, like people, like I remember there was a time where people were confused on why feminists like me, like why there were feminists that like me. And that is because if I think that I am wrong, I would actually say, I am wrong. I'm not the type to double down and insist that I'm right. If you could show that I misunderstand you or whatnot, I could be a lot like, you know what? I don't care that you are let enemy. I would still go, I was wrong.
And that's one thing about feminism that I do agree with a lot of points on it, but I just view they should not double down when they're wrong. If they're wrong, it will make the movement and admit they're wrong on certain things. It will strengthen their movement even more, because they at least are self-aware of the mistakes they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing you could ever do is double down. It's kind of like if people are complaining that you called Mr. Medicare a child groomer, don't double down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why Sargon's going to flop, because he's doubling down. And yeah, he could blame the feminists and other people, but a real person, he does that to project that he can't even blame himself, in my opinion.
I mean, it's kind of like what was it? It's kind of like how feminists go around falsely accusing men of rape, and how he was against feminists falsely accusing men of rape just for him to falsely accuse Jim of pedophilia. And then he doubled down, saying that, well, he did the exact same thing to Mundane Matt, but there was actually a difference. And the difference is like Mr. Medicare actually showed screenshots of Mundane Matt directly saying something pedophilic. Not only
Yeah.
that, but he actually had an audio of Mundane Matt saying something pedophilic.
Yeah, and the thing is, Monday Matt in that, I knew probably Jim was doing it in a joking manner, like how Leafy does those jokes, and Sargon got probably all butthurt, and Matt also, not knowing that it was like satire. He was satirizing Mundane Matt's experience at that church.
No, it definitely didn't. Like, Mr. Medicare says, I don't know. Like, he didn't even say, like, he didn't even directly call Monday Matts a pedophile. I think he said, I don't know, or I can't be sure. So he didn't even actually, if I recall correctly, he didn't even actually call Monday Matts a pedophile.
No, he didn't. And that's the funny thing. Like, Medicare was making it into a joke, like how somebody would make a joke about. There's this one joke on Bob Saget's roast where it implied that the joke was this: Dave Coulier walks in a bar and tells the bartender, "Give me a Bob Saget." And what he said, the bartender said, "What's a Bob Saget?" It's a scotch and a brandy that tastes horrible, just like Bob Saget's humor. So he bought that. So he served him the drink. As he walks out of the bar, here comes Mary Kate and Ashley, and they asked for a Bob Saget is an asshole. Bartender said, What is a Bob Saget? He's an asshole. That's where Bob Saget gives you that's a drink consistent of Bob Saget giving you his special chocolate milk, and you wake up with your back end hurting really hard. And that was a joke, and it was funny. And the thing is, Medicare was making fun of Matt in a sense of a joke, not implying that Matt is a pedophile. Sargon, on the other hand, painted this picture to make Matt look hard. I mean, Medicare look like a piece of crap. And to me, it's like, Sargon, you really don't get it. By you doing that, you're the piece of crap.
Yeah, he's just, a middle-aged man who doesn't get a joke. Yeah, but Mr. Medicare, he played it off really well. Hello, sweetie squad. Could I interest you in some popsicles? Would you like some popsicles, sweetie squad?
Yeah, and that's what I like about Medicare. He'll take the joke and reflect it back upon you.
Oh my god, he is so funny. Oh my god, he is so incredibly funny.
Yeah, and I love how he called out I love how they joke around that with the capos of Sargon's mafia. That's funny as fuck.
Oh god, I'm sorry. It's just not really funny.
Yeah, and I love some of his capos. They are the prime example of this internet mafia. We have V, a guy who sounds like a parody of the Transylvanian Dracula. We have the Quartering, a magic guy who can't even tap ass, let alone tap lands. We got Short Fat Otaku. Oh my god, he's a fucking moron and a weeaboo, in my opinion. And we have all these other people who are on Sargon's side trying to make it look like Sargon cannot be wrong. They're all following Sargon like they're a bunch of zealots.
Yeah, I know. That is so fucking. And I am glad I am not alone. I mean, for real, I am so glad I'm not alone in this. Like, there were people sending me DMs saying that it's like the cults of Sargon. And there were people in my DMs saying that they are sick and tired of people treating the soy fodder as if he's some sort of religious figure.
Yeah, let me put it this way. Sargon, with all them, he's like this, and I remember this from Beyond Scared Straight 99. I could go with this line. Yeah, these are my. If these guys were in my cells, they will wash my clothes when I tell them to, make my bed when I tell them to, suck my dick when my dick gets hard. And that's what they're doing. They're basically on their hands and knees sucking Sargon's dick 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, they suck Sargon's dick really hard. I mean, it's just like they have their heads shoved so far up Sargon's ass.
They're not just sucking Sargon's dick. They're doing it balls. They're deep throwing that thing without teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And
they don't know how cults like it makes them look. I mean, they just seem like they're in a cult or something. It's just so pitiful to look at. Like, you really think Sargon is perfect? You really think that he does no wrong? He's perfect? Because I mean, you show anybody his debates with Richard Carrier, where he was just screeching because he had so much soy that day, and everybody else would think like, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he acting this way? But it's like Sargon Swallow wants to just paints everything in the most positive lights ever.
Yeah, and that's funny because you see Sargon is not always right, and Sargon can't admit to that, so he plays it off and projects it off to other people. And Medicare would be one of them, Warski, the alt-right. It's that to him, it's them who are the ones who made him wrong in that whole debate. No, it was Sargon himself, and he can't realize that. He would be a better figure if he can admit he was wrong on things.
Yeah, it would be nice if Sargon would just admit that he's wrong. That would be really refreshing. But hell were freeze over long before Sargon ever admits to being wrong.
Yeah, believe me, I don't think hell. I think hell froze over already when Trump got elected. The thing is, they'll find Jimmy Hoffa's body before Sargon would ever admit he was wrong.
Yeah.
Or find D.B. Cooper.
I don't know who those guys are.
Jimmy Hoffa was a famous political person who disappeared one day from the mob because of the mafia. And D.B. Cooper was a guy who jumped out of an airplane after hijacking it, and they never found these two individuals ever since.
Why would anybody jump off an airplane?
He was holding the plane hostage, and he got the ransom, and he escaped. If you ever want to watch something, I'll DM it in the chat on Twitter about D.B. Cooper. Or I could put it in a better analogy. Bigfoot would come out in public and run for public office more than Sargon would admit he's wrong.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
And that's the thing. And Medicare actually blew a lid on a lot of the skeptics, shown their shady practices. And that's another thing I think Sargon's really railing Jim on, because he's showing that the skeptics are a joke.
Yeah, Mr. Medicare is a bringer of light to source.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's the
love the
reason why
fact
they view him as the devil, because he is the bringer of lights in a way.
yeah, he is the modern day Lucifer.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, even though we always talk about his things on Sargon, I love the fact he went on Bunty King, and that was funny as hell.
That was really funny. It's cool though, because I did have Bunsy King on my channel once, and Bunsy King was really nice and friendly. But I mean, what he had on Bunsy King was really funny.
Yeah, and then Bunty King admitting to all that stuff, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's really, really gross though. It's kind of like, in one hand, I feel bad for Bunsy King because he was on my channel and a great guest. But on the other hand, it was really gross and disgusting for him to say all of that publicly on a live stream.
Yeah, it's like you never say that on the internet because it's like the one thing that the cops say. Anything you say can be used against you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh man. And it's like over the years of start watching the skeptic community. It's like first they always talked about religion, which I learned more about different types of religion and their shady practices. But when they went to SJW culture and stuff, it's like a lot of them had good points, but it's the same points rehashed over and over again. It's like eating leftovers in a microwave. You're going to get sick of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I have this really old video at like May of 2000, May 11 of 2017, where it's talking about how it's annoying how they keep bringing up the wage gap over and over and over again, because they bring it up ad nauseum and you get sick and tired of hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are their solutions? Instead of just complaining about it, what are their solutions?
Well, my thing is, my thing on the wage gap, I always thought that both genders should get paid equally. And I mean equal, down the middle. And no, with the whole, I'm a female, I get paid higher than a man. I think they get paid equally. Second part, maternity leave. My thing on that is, personally, because I view it as that women, when they're on maternity leave, should get paid, but that money they get should go, part of it should go to a factor of actually being more for the kid as well. Like if a company company should have like a private fund for a kid for college tuition for some of the maternity leave things. But that's my pipe dream on that thing. I know some parts of it I'm wrong. I'm still thinking about it. It's a good idea on paper, but in theory it might or might not work. And that's my one thing about why I don't go political all the time, because most of my things are in the theory phase before processing it.
Well, okay, there is a problem that I have with some of the progressive rhetoric. Is that okay? They want paid maternity leave, but they also believe in late-term abortions. Like a woman could be like 8 months pregnant and get an abortion. Well, it's like if you're getting paid maternity leave, I mean, and you're gonna have a late-term abortion, it's kind of like you're getting money while I just don't think it's rights for the company or either the company or taxpayers. I don't think that's right because
Well,
I mean you're not having a child anyway, so
my thing is with if they go on a maternity leave and have an abortion, my thing is personally that money if the oh god this is a good point in this whole theory I had. My thing is I haven't gone to that part of the stage yet on planning for that, but my thing is if that was ever the case, the money that was made during that maternity leave and they found out they have an abortion, number one, the company should have it on record actually of that maternity leave of the child was aborted. The money goes into you don't get maternity leave. I understand that point, and my thing is that is a great point. But even if you're aborting the child, you're still gonna. Now, are you talking about late term or pre or?
I'll talk about late term abortion where you get the maternity leave because there are families who want the full 9 months of maternity leave, but then they also want like late term abortions where it's kind of a lot like the woman is 8 months pregnant, like or the woman is 8 months and 2 weeks pregnant. It's like, oh well, I want an abortion, you know.
That personally, I think the money of that maternity leave should be put into like part of the unemployment. If they ever got fired, they get that money in return. Because if it's a late term abortion, normally to me that views you're wasting the company's money, but at the same time you are still suspected of maternity leave, but it goes towards unemployment. In case if you ever got fired for some odd reason or laid off, that would go partially towards unemployment. But that's how I feel on it. But I may be right, I may be wrong. I don't mind to hear your point to bring for anybody's points in the comments. It'll bring some nuance upon me as well.
Oh yeah, I've let me look at chats to see what their opinions are on abortion. None of your business what people do with the money.
Their money.
You don't get maternity leave if you abort. Yeah, I agree that you shouldn't get maternity leave if you have an abortion.
I agree with that too, but some for a fact some radical group is going to try to boycott a store and avoid boycotting. I think the maternity leave should go into towards unemployment, but you only get half that amount. Because if it's aborted, the thing is, that's one thing I view that could, because you have to know another point is, let's say a woman, let's say the pregnant woman had a miscarriage on the eighth term, 8 months. You know they can get maternity leave because it was not on them that the baby miscarried, or they go to full 9 months and it's stillborn.
Yeah, that's different than having a late-term abortion. I mean, there's a difference between a stillborn and, you want to go. For me personally, I'm against the late-term abortion. If it's the first trimester, I'm fine with it. But when it's the late-term abortion, that makes me feel very uneasy.
My thing is, I view it like this. I view that the only time when I believe in abortion because I am not the one who has to carry that burden. That's on the female. That's on the woman who has the abortion. Because I know for a fact there was a lot of people who were on drugs and they didn't want their baby to be born with the addictive with because some of these people, when I worked in the mental health field, I used to be a speaker on mental health issues a lot. A lot of these people who had abortions that I knew were drug addicts, and it's hard for them, but they didn't want their kid to grow up in that type of life. And to me, I could never judge a person for doing that because that's upon them. You have to put yourself in their shoes, in my personal opinion.
Well, I could understand why they would get an abortion, but it still wouldn't make sense to get 8 months pregnant. Like if you know that you don't want a child, to me it would make sense to get an abortion right away.
Yeah, but some people, when they're when they're pregnant and they're on drugs, they're not thinking that well. Their thoughts are altered by the substance. So, in my opinion, that's one part that I can empathize with, and the other part is, let's say you're 8 months pregnant and you find out this. The child, if you give birth, not only the baby dies, but you'll die as well. That's a decision based on what would happen. Is it wrong for a person to get rid of one life, or we lose both lives in the process?
I mean, that's different because I would imagine that's very rare.
Yeah, it is very rare, but it is one point that I always say personally. I believe that people that abortion should happen, but in my opinion, you have to do it for the right reasons.
I mean, abortion, it's like it's not really pro-life or pro-choice because it's kind of like even many pro-lifers have, exceptions like, oh yeah, a pro-life except for this, except for that, except for that. Most people, what they want is nuance, kind of like there's a difference between murder and self-defense. Like if you're protecting yourself, it's self-defense, but if you're doing it's in your life, it's not in danger, then it's murder, or has there's first degree murder, second degree murder. What I think people really want is nuance.
Yeah, because another point I could bring up that's very interesting is all these pro-lifers love to talk about abortion's bad, it kills, it's murder, but yet they blow up abortion clinics or kill abortion doctors. They're not really pro-life.
Yeah, again, I would imagine the extremists to be very rare.
Yeah, the last time we had an abortion clinic shooting, I think it was in 2016.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was a while ago. I mean, it's not something that happens very frequently. The extremists are very rare, far few in between. Kind of like how there was a Christian who was on drugs and he killed a person who's into Wicca because the Bible says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live."
Yeah.
I mean, it does happen, but it's far few in between. It does make up the majority.
And the other thing is, there's this one thing I could bring up that I found out about this whole abortion debate thing. I could bring up on my phone, actually, because it was a quote by one of my friends, actually. Okay, and I'll bring it up. I will not give the name of that person, but to keep anonymity. But I'll give like a funny name, Joe Blow. Okay, let me find
Blowing a Joe.
Yeah. Or Joe Camel. There, that's even better. All right, let me find it. It was interesting, actually, when I read this thing. Look it up. Because this was interesting when I read it. It was very interesting when I read this, actually.
Read what?
This one post my friend posted about abortions and stuff. I'm trying to find it. I am backtracking like hell on this thing.
Well, I mean, we could talk about something else if you can't
Oh yeah.
find it.
Oh yeah. So I hear you. What other bands you love besides Ghost, metal wise?
I like a Ghost. I like this Japanese band called Versailles. Well, actually, it's Versailles. You know that French band?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
You like Emily Autumn?
No, I like him. His Infernal Majesty.
Ooh, nice. Do you like Avenged Sevenfold?
No. Wait a minute. Let me go to my Google Play Store. Yeah, I use Google Play Store to keep track of all of the music I upload. I mean, Google is useful for something.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh man.
Let's see. In my Google Play Store, I have The Academy Is, I have AFI, I have Alien Ants Farm, I have Alkaline Trio, Anneli Policino. Now, Anneli Policino is a Japanese band, but with an Italian name. I have the Backstreet Boys, I have Blake McGrath, I have a song by the Blood Brothers. I have Breaking Benjamin. I have I don't even know how to pronounce this name, like Casadia, not sure. I have Nickelback. I have Charlie Puth. I have Coldplay, The Corals, The Curse, or whatever. I can't pronounce that. I have Culture Beats. I have
Yeah.
Darren Haynes, Day Shell. I have Death Gaze. Now, Death Gaze is a Japanese band. I have D Lucky. That's another Japanese band. I have Dirty Vegas. I have DJ Sammy. I have Enigma. I have Enrique Iglesias. I have the Foo Fighters. I have Fuel. I have the Gazettes, which is another Japanese band. I
Nice.
have Ghost. I have Gilgamesh, which is another Japanese band. I have JP Kisum, which is another Japanese band. I have Hathaway. I have him. I have Iggy Azalea. I have Incubus. I have It's Dies Today.
All right.
It's Dies Today is metal.
Here's the quote my friend wrote. This is the quote they had. Okay, now this is about somebody being called a murderer for getting an abortion. This is funny. So what happens next? Once you have succeeded your quest to stop the termination of a pregnancy, disregarding the circumstances why the woman or couple want to terminate, failed birth control, rape, lack of financial stability, unsuitable environment, domestic violence, mental health issues, lack of employment, medical issues, lack of comprehensive sexual education. What happens next? Who pays for the parental and prenatal and postnatal care? Surely not a couple working minimum wage who can barely afford their rent, who provides health care and funds bills for a single woman with no place to live, or a married couple who struggle to afford the children they already have. Who assists the millions of children in foster care still waiting to be adopted? Who helps them when they hit the street at 18 with no money or life skills? Will you and your ilk, the self-proclaimed pro-life community, help fund comprehensive sexual education for teens? How about access to affordable birth control? Why not promote vasectomy as a viable option for men who don't want children? How about funding scientific research so men have more birth control options than condoms? Is this your community who's going to help pay health care and education costs? Once you have succeeded in stopping the termination of a pregnancy, what role will you have ensuring the quality of life for the fetus you so desperately want to save? That was
Actually, I'm in favor of stronger birth control methods, like for ECSS to birth control pills, ECSS to condoms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. There's not a lot of male birth control out there. There's a lot of.
I also think that there should be more like male birth control pills where men could get on the pill and men could take something so that they don't get a woman pregnant.
Yeah. And that's another thing, and I believe that in order, if pro-lifers want to stop abortion, they should fund better things into birth control. Places like Planned Parenthood, they should fund that, in my personal opinion. There's places that would help people with sexual education so they won't get pregnant. Ever since, that's the thing with pro-lifers, the ultra-religious type, that they don't realize it's their fault because they want sex out of the school. They don't want to teach sex ed. They don't want kids to learn about this. And if you don't, the things you tell kids not to do, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do it.
Yeah, I do believe that sex education for kids is really important because everybody has sex. So,
yeah, it's part of life. It's like breathing the air.
yes, sex. Unlike calculus, like this is where I agree with Sean Oliver. Unlike calculus, I mean, sex is going to be a part of everybody's life. So it's important for everybody to learn sex ed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else is there in life that's people? And this is the thing. This is why I'm against pro-lifers so much, is because the best way to stop it is education. Sometimes education is the best thing to do.
Yeah, but it seems like you're referencing the pro-life extremists because there are other pro-lifers that are more nuanced. Like when it comes to Zach, I mean, he's pro-life, but he's also seems to be very nuanced about it.
That's one thing I give Zach a lot of credit for. He's a lot nuanced, and I do not group him in the radical pro-lifers.
Yeah, I mean, because
I just view the uber Christians, the radical uber Christians who think that sin, that even if you go to the bathroom, it's considered a sin, like it was back in the 50s.
Yeah, those people are extremists, and we're on the same page with the extremists and the pro-life movements. They're just too extreme. They're just as bad as the far left.
Oh, believe me, Joshua Fierstein, I watch a lot of his stupidity, and the funny thing is, he is the typical radical. In my personal opinion, he is the definition of that radical Christian.
Yeah, I mean, some Christians, I mean, I'm not a Christian at all, but I mean, there are people out there that are too far out there being pro-life that they sound insane.
Yeah, they follow the Judge Frollo.
I mean, it seems like they live in the 1970s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lynn says hi, Lynn K.
Lynn K?
Yeah. If you would like to join, Lynn, you're more than welcome.
Lynn K, wait, what happened? Someone give me a quick rundown, please. Um, Me and well, Patrick here,
Just
we
call me the
agreed too much. Just a problem. We agreed too much. That's the reason why the early parts of the screen, like we were supposed to talk about the Crowds and Tea and Donga League. Yeah, Soccer League, and we just agreed too much. It's like everything you think, I think. So it's like,
and the name Tonkasaw. I just love that name because do you know what I only think of? One of those toy saws made by Tonka, like the Tonka trucks.
yeah.
That's
But you know that I love Mr. Medicare's Donka voice. Don't Donka voice, like Donka do this, Donka mad, Donka wants super beers, Donka, goes on the
Tonka.
internet.
Yeah, Tonka. I heard Tonka would start an argument about who would win in a fight between Optimus Prime and Megatron, basically.
Megatron. I
They're
don't know
from
who that is.
they're from Transformers, two Transformers.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I don't pay any attention to Transformers,
or better
so
yet, Tonka would get upset over a fight between King Kong and Godzilla.
yeah, I know who those are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what's happened. Lindsay K is just me and Patrick, we ended up agreeing on everything. It's like, yeah, and we only met like what's it, last week, and this is like our third conversation, and
Oh,
it's like we just met and we agree on absolutely
oh,
everything.
believe me. I'm not only book smart, I'm also street smart, and that's where I shine the most. Is both those aspects. I learned how to become street smart through my fiance, and once you show me something, I pick it up just like that. Believe me, it's funny that I see a lot of things because I experience a lot of things. Sometimes the greatest thing in life, and this is what I view humane mind doesn't know, is sometimes you don't read a book to gain smarts. Experience can make you smart as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are people who are book smarts, there are people who are street smarts, and there are people who are both. And I think Mr. Medicare is both.
Yeah, and that's why I relate to him a lot because he's both of that put all rolled up in one package.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like he's book smart, but at the exact same time, like he is very well spoken, and it's like I do think he would fit in just about anywhere. Like you could put him with a group of Italians, or you could put him in the ghetto, and he would just fit in anywhere.
God, if you put him on a car sales lot, that car sales lot will go out of business. All the cars will be gone, basically.
Yeah.
He's that type of person. He's a great he pitches a great sale.
Definitely, definitely, and he has that really beautiful voice that I really love listening to. I mean, he's not the only one. So is Raging Golden Eagle. Like, I also love Rachel's voice.
And the thing is, I like him also. He sounds like one of those people who does talk radio.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that's the thing. Sargon doesn't know how to get an audience. Jim does.
I love how Jim strings people. Oh, that's really funny. Like I think he string snapped Sargon. That was funny.
Yeah. And the thing is, I personally love the fact that Medicare wanted to go against Short Fat Otaku, and Short Fat Otaku told him his wife didn't want him to be on a stream with him, and it's like, oh my God, you got called out. You have two options: either take your lumps and learn from it, or the other option, be a bitch. And there's a third option: you can take the lumps, but at the same time, you bitch out.
Again, I don't know why people are afraid of Mr. Medicare. I mean, for me, the idea of being on the stream with him sounds like a good time.
Yeah, and the thing is, yeah, he'll throw quite a few one-liners and zingers at you. The people that he respects the most, I can see, are the people who could take it and laugh at themselves with it. And that's
because like I said earlier, he actually did have a civil conversation with Bronx blogger, the guy from Antifa, and I was a bit surprised, but they were having a civil dialogue. And not only that, but I've also seen another video. It's on I think it's on his archive channel, or it's some old video where he was talking to a guy and he was really respectful and civil the whole entire time.
Yeah, and with Destiny, I love the fact that him and Destiny get along perfectly, even though they're both completely different of their beliefs.
Yeah, I mean that surprised me. Like that surprised me a bit, but him and Destiny do get along, and he was even on the Kill stream saying that he has a lot of respect for Destiny.
Yeah, and Destiny, he'll probably say he does have a lot of respect for Medicare, even though if he hides it.
No. Destiny has been helping Medicare. Like Destiny sent him a link to try to help him with like DOS.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, look, Daniel Keemstar of Drama Alert, have high respect for Medicare.
Yeah, that's the reason why the fight with Medicare is weird, because there are a lot of people who have a lot of respect for Medicare, even people you wouldn't normally expect, like people you would think you would never ever respect Medicare. You're to the left, but he has people on the left that like him.
Yeah. And with Keemstar in his corner, I'm like, Sargon, you realize he has that Keemstar has a lot of respect for him, and Keemstar got his channel back. Even if you try something like that, Keemstar has connections.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the guy who runs Drama Alert.
Yeah, I know who Keemstar is. Yeah, I remember when what was the Monday Mats and Keemstar was arguing, because Monday Matt, did he call Keemstar a pedophile or something?
No, he made fun of Keemstar for shilling out G Fuel and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and saying Drama Alert is such and such is a fail. It's like, Matt, you do realize you do basically the same thing, but Keemstar puts a little flair into it.
Yeah, I mean, Keemstar, he's an interesting guy.
Yeah. And that's the thing I don't get with these skeptics. You're going against a person who has connections. Heck.
And a guy who's really well liked, because again, Mr. Medicare, he would go after anybody, and that's exactly what people like about him. It's refreshing.
Mm-hmm. And Medicare does the things that normally the skeptics don't do, like the whole going after pedophiles. Since when didn't we see? The last time we saw the skeptics go after a pedophile was Amos Yee, and Medicare called him out on being a troll.
When it comes to, I mean, at least Blair White, she at one time tried to go after pedophiles, but nobody seemed to be interested. No, I mean, nobody else seemed to be interested.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we're always going after the SJWs. It's like,
yeah, but so that's the reason why Medicare's channel was just so amazing, because I was watching him going after the pedophiles and the rapists and the and the people in the furry fandom who would rape puppies, and Mr. Medicare, he went after them, and he still made it entertaining, but he shone light to the issue, and it's like, wow, Jesus Christ, this guy is amazing, and he's amazing at his craft.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't get a lot. In my opinion, Medicare, what I'm doing actually, and I'll tell everybody, I've been going to the Medicare's channel and downloading all his, grabbing all his videos and put it in a file just in case if ever YouTube shuts down or Medicare's channel gets destroyed, because I'm afraid Sargon's that type of person.
Yeah, I mean, we already know that Mundane Mats and Chef Holiday has been flagging Mr. Medicare. I would like it if somebody would just, download all of his materials so that I could rewatch it sometime later.
And that's the thing. Medicare is one of the last of the old guards.
That's true. I mean, he used to be internet aristocrat.
Then Jim81 Jim.
Yeah, before that, Jim81 Jim. I think I've seen some of his internet aristocrat material.
Oh, that was especially the Zoe Quinn one. I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
I love
it's been a while though.
Yeah, I love the opening of that one actually. How he used Jesse Ventura in that. It's quite interesting that one time Sargon looked up to Jim and
like if you saw his stream, Goodbye Carl, he played a clip of Sargon masturbating to him. That was funny.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Sargon, in my opinion, should learn to laugh at himself.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a lot like, Mr. Medicare, when Sargon called him a pedophile, he was a lot like, hello, sweetie Claude. Would you like some popsicles? Would you like some popsicles, sweetie Claude? Would you like to come on Daddy Jim's van?
Yeah, that's the funniest thing, because in reality, that's where Sargon lost his audience, because Sargon can't laugh at himself. He's too above himself. He's too above. He can laugh at others, but nobody can't laugh at him, even himself.
Yes, Sargon can't laugh about himself. It's kind of like if Mr. Medicare told us just about me, it's like, heck yeah. It's like I'm actually worth noticing. It's like, well, he's actually paying attention to me, even though I have 800 subscribers. It's like, that is awesome. It's like, yeah, that would be, that would be an honor for me.
Yeah. Well, I just got a text. I have to pick up my fiance soon.
All right, this has been nice. Do you want to shell out your channel? I mean,
shell out your channel. Oh, thank you. I love the shell. Well, this is a conundrum here, and I was on the lovely Rin McAllis's stream tonight, and make sure to check my channel out, The Conundrum, where I talk about slice of life, video games. I do the Conundrum Presents, where I talk about the news in my area and events, as well as some positive news, because with all the negativity in the world, there is some positivity left, even though people just want to shield your eyes from it. But I also have the Order to 66 podcast, where I come on, we just joke about anything. It's a neutral stream where I believe we can just sit back and laugh and be ourselves. Now, like I always say, when life gives you those conundrums, I'll give you those answers with a little side of delirium as well.
All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. Let me just look at chat and see what chat has to say. I think Medicare may be CIA, since all I ever see him do is disrupt political movements. All he does is criticize and offers little intellectually. I mean, people are free to not like the guy. So it's kind of like if you don't like Mr. Medicare, I could respectfully disagree with that. That's cool. And if you want to hop on the stream and vent or something, you're more than welcome to do so.
As I was going to say, I am in full points with Rin here. If you don't like Mr. Medicare, that's perfectly fine. I will not judge you by any means necessary. I have friends who don't like Medicare, and they're still my friends to this day.
Yeah, like Curiosity, she thinks Mr. Medicare is very mean, and it's like for me, I'm like, I just want to be entertained, and that's it. So, I mean, I really just like his roasting style of video, but I mean, if Curiosity views Mr. Medicare as mean, I would still respect her, and I would still have her on my channel. I would just not bring up Mr. Medicare. I mean, it's fine.
Oh yes.
Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.